Good evening, guys. Terry Tiller here from healthandwealth.ca. Wanted to catch up with you and give you some information on a long overdue video I've been meaning to send you on my stock trading program. I've spoken to many of you about it. I want to clarify what it is and what it is not. So this program is designed for people who have registered funds with the government, such as RESPs, RRSPs, that you don't want to take out and pay the tax penalty on. Money outside of that, I would probably recommend in most cases for most people to invest your money elsewhere in many different places that we speak about at the events. For your money that's in the RRSP accounts, the registered accounts, let's talk about what my program is. In my last 6 months of active trading, to give you an idea, I was able to garner gains of 110% in 6 months. And here's the great news. It was done in a systematic fashion. This is a system that I got from a first-generation billionaire. So the system works terrific. And it's based on the premise of finding the top 5% of the best companies today. Not the 5% last week, 6 weeks ago, at the beginning of September. Who's in the top 5% of financial health right now today that's got a great trend, and we try and ride the sweet spot wave. We don't buy and hold for the long term. So this program needs to paint the picture how I got 110% last time to give you a bit of an idea. What we did is we got into 2 stocks relatively around the same time. We held them both for approximately 3 months. We had some great gains. And then I've got into 2 other positions right around the same time, again after pulling out shortly thereafter, and got into 2 more. So the reason why I got into the first one then got out was because I believed that I found the sweet spot. So we never get in at exactly the bottom, we never sell exactly at the top. But I've got a system that keeps the emotions out of it, and we're able to time it quite well. So we get in and get in, get out, get in, get out, get in, get out. Gives us the opportunity to compound our gains frequently, which is amazing. As you know, Albert Einstein talked about compound interest being the greatest, one of the greatest powers that we have, certainly for financial health. So what I want to tell you about the program is that it isn't risk-free, but there is a finite risk in every play that we get into, which is awesome. So every time we take a position, the maximum loss is 15%. So finite loss is a really nice thing, given, you know, in a mutual fund right now that you're holding, you've got an infinite loss. For most of you, you've already lost 50% this year. For those of you who listen, I cautioned to sell it a long time ago to avoid these losses. The market still has volatility, but right now with the volatility comes opportunity. So there is a chance, or a lot of stocks have been completely oversold. So we do have an opportunity to get into these stocks at a very low price and make some a huge profit potential. Can I guarantee that we'll get them? No, there are no guarantees in anything in life, and I'm not here to make you one. What I can guarantee you is a finite loss, a really, really good, statistically significant chance of getting huge gains and wildly outperforming the market, whereas a mutual fund right now on the best day of the world would never outpace inflation. As for those of you who've been to my events, you know current inflation is 14%. So you need an investment that outpaces 14% to just to break even right now. With this program, we have a really, really good opportunity of doing that. To get around securities legislation, also to make you guys feel comfortable, you guys are actually going to be trading the account from your own self-directed account. Don't be overwhelmed by that. It doesn't mean anything big. It's actually very simple. You fill in about 6 parameters, of which I'll teach you and coach you exactly how to do that. So what happens, you just need to be, you'll be on a separate email list of mine, a special email list. I will email you which stock to buy, what price to buy it, how to protect yourself on the underside, and all these things. And periodically I'll send you an update. Because what happens in my program is usually after taking a position, after holding for about 3 weeks, I can usually eliminate the risk completely and get us out to break-even point and pure profit potential only. So this is where the power of the program lies. Have I lost before? Yeah, I suppose. Not by using the system. Anytime I lost, because I broke the rules. My promise to you right now, especially in these turbulent times, I will not break the rules whatsoever. This doesn't mean you should put 100% of your money in here, but it's a great place for a piece of your money. As I mentioned, 110% in 6 months, getting in, getting out, compound interest, undersold, undervalued stocks currently. There's a real good upside potential. I also want to caution you about the risks. I am great, but I'm not a magician. I can't mitigate bank holidays. I don't get to make those rules. I can't stop a bank holiday. I can't stop a currency collapse. And I can't stop some major political rule changes. I'll be able, hopefully, to predict when they're coming and make a very intelligent decision. And of course, we still protect the underside absolutely the best we can. And I trade in only very heavily traded stocks, so our risk of us having what's called slippage, and I'll explain that some other day, is very low. So we should be able to get in and get out with a finite loss, as always. So I really invite you to join this program. I think it's a terrific program. To let you know how I've designed it, you know, the mutual fund industry with the banks, they want to charge you whether you're winning or whether you're losing. I want to be paid for performance. So there's a small upfront fee. The fee is $250 for VIP members. It's $500 for non-members. I think it's extremely modest given that I have to do a huge amount of work. I have monthly expenses every single month that I have to carry for signing up for a lot of special analytical tools. I spend at least an hour a day on this stuff. Several hours on the front end to find our stocks and get my tracking list and all these different things. So I think it's extremely modest. And then from there on, whenever we get in and get out of a position, I've devised a system that we get to measure that's fair and equitable for everybody. And I take a percentage of the win only. And if we lose, I take nothing. So great system. I get paid for performance except for a small amount of time on the front end and to cover my original expenses. As I mentioned, we might be in a position for 3 to 6 months before we get to pull out and totally solidify the gains and create cash flow. So that's the gist of the program. I really invite you to join. If you got more questions, you can absolutely email me. But I highly recommend, again, especially for registered funds, where we can grow this in a non-taxable form and you don't have to take your money out and pay the tax penalties. This is a great place for a percentage of your money. And again, we'll get in a few different positions, spread your risk in 3 to 5 positions, let's say. And again, we get to minimize, not diversification a la mutual fund, but diversifications for a little bit of protection. And of course, to maximize our gain potential, because not everyone we pick will be a high flyer, but they should all move. So again, system from a first-generation billionaire. That's the gist of the program, paid for results. Great place for some of your money, and I welcome you to give me a call and ask your questions if you have them, and let's get trading and let's get profiting from this depression. The greatest wealth transfers in history is happening right now. It's either going to be transferred to you or from you. If you're in a mutual fund, it's from you. If you're in this program, it's most likely to you, which is great. So I invite you to come and profit with me. I guess one more thing I wanted to say to you before I sign out. If you're watching this and you really like what you're hearing and you feel like your friends and family could benefit from such a trading program, please do pass it on to them. You see on YouTube or whatever video site you're on right now, you can just go, you can click, you can rate it in your favorites, you can put it on your favorites page, you can rate the thing, and of course pass it on nice and easy. So we would really appreciate that if you feel someone else could benefit. I'm Terry Tiller from healthandwealth.ca signing out and wishing you a great evening.